Good morning, this is Shine Matthew. Gender, Religion and Caste, Part 2. Topics of the day: sexual division of labor, discrimination, women's political representation, communalism, forms of communalism, and secularism. India is a land of diversity. Social diversity is very common. Once Vincent R. Smith described India as the epitome of the world. India is the largest democracy in the world. It has got different political parties, multi-party system. Differences, social divisions and inequalities are expressed in Indian politics. Differences based on gender, religion and caste are crucial, sometimes expressed in a very healthier way, and sometimes it is dangerous. Political expression of differences to be healthy. Healthier expression of political differences leads to the smooth functioning of the society. Gender division is hierarchical social division. It tends to be natural and unchangeable. It is not based on biology, based on expectations and stereotypes. Sexual division of labor. Women do all the household works and bringing up children. They do cooking, cleaning, washing clothes, tailoring, fetching water, collecting fuel wood, working in the field, working as domestic helpers. Women from middle class do jobs in offices. Men do all the work outside and they are paid. Domestic labor, if it is done by men, it is paid. If it is done by women, it is not paid. Women constitute half of the humanity. The role is very less in public and political life. Men allowed in public and they have got voting rights, and they hold public offices. Women started to raise their voice for equality, especially for voting rights, political and legal status, for improving educational and career opportunities. Radical women's movements for equality in personal and family life, termed as feminist movements. Feminist movements are the movements for equal rights and opportunities for women. Political mobilization is very necessary for the improvement of status. The political mobilization improved the status. Now women as scientists, doctors, engineers, lawyers, managers, college and university teachers. In the Scandinavian countries, especially countries like Sweden, Norway, Finland, women's participation is very high. India, much behind. Some improvements since independence. Still a male-dominated society. It's patriarchal, ruled by father. Discrimination. In the field of education, the literacy rate is 54% against 76%. The data is given here is a little bit old, and you have to just check it out. Latest edition. Small proportion goes for studies, high studies, equal performance. Parents prefer resources for boys. In the field of job, proportion is very less in high-paid jobs. Indian women works 1 hour more than men, yet not paid. Governmental measure, government interferes sometimes. In 1976, the Equal Remuneration Act passed. Equal payment to equal work. But they are paid differently, especially in areas, sports, cinema, factories, fields. In family itself, the differences. Families in India prefer to have sons. Girl child abortion is very common. Sex selective abortion. Decline in child sex ratio. It has fallen. In 2011, 914. Some places, it is in between 800 and 850. Harassment, exploitation, violence are common in India. Urban areas are unsafe for women, even in homes. Beating, harassment, and domestic violence. Women's political representation doesn't get adequate attention. Emergence of feminist and women's movements for political control, for having equal status. Now more women as elected representatives. In India, the proportion is very low. It crossed just 10% in 2009. That's for clarification. 2009. State assemblies, that is less than 5% Indian the border group of nations behind several developing countries of Africa and Latin America. Men as cabinet ministers, prime minister, chief ministers of states. A solution is legal sanction to have fair proportion. Introduction of Panchayati Raj. Now we have got more than 10 lakh elected members in rural and urban bodies, women's organization and activists for similar steps in the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies. The bill has been pending before the parliament for a decade. There is no consensus because most of the political parties are led by men. So there is a need for political expression of these differences. Equal treatment is necessitated. Religion, communalism, and politics, and division based on religious differences are common in countries. India has got different religions. Religious diversity is the most widespread in the world. India has got different religions: Hinduism, Islam, Parsis, Judaism, Christianity, Jainism, Buddhism, a number of religions. Northern Ireland, the same religion, Christianity, but practices different. You have got already the experience. Denominational differences, Protestantism and Catholicism. Conflict between Protestants and Catholics. Political expression of religion according to Gantian philosophy. Non-separatism between politics and religion. Moral and ethical principles to be incorporated in politics for having guidance for the political leaders. Human rights activists for the protection of minority groups, especially the victims of communal rights. Women against family laws which discriminate against them. Governmental steps are required in such context. Ideas, ideals, values have got special role in politics. Expression of needs, interests, and demands as a religious community. That is okay, but sometimes it goes beyond the limit. Religion should be used for preventing discrimination and oppression and for having equality, religious equality. Communalism, when a religion is bias of a nation, Northern Ireland approach to nationalism, very different, complicated, communal division. It is a very threat to the very existence of the nation. Political expression can be exclusive in partisan types. Then it becomes more crucial and dangerous. Superiority of one over another state's decision to make one religion as superior. That leads to communal politics. Communal politics is the principal basis of a social community. Followers of the same religion feel as one community. So different religions, different communities. The commonality among these religions are superficiality and immateriality. Involve conflicts, extreme level. Different religions cannot be equal. People in one religion have different interests, aspirations, roles, positions, and identities. All voices to be heard. The communalism expressed in different forms gets different forms. In everyday life, it has prejudices, stereotypes, belief in superiority. In politics, it is the quest for political dominance, majoritarian dominance, separatism. Political mobilization, especially during the election time, political leaders utilize sacred symbols, religious leaders. They do emotional appeal and blind fear. Electoral politics, interest and emotions of voters are raised. In its ugly form, communalism gets different forms: violence, riots, massacre. India has got the experience. Partition, India and Pakistan. Post-independence, the scale of violence. Secular state. So communalism is a major challenge to democracy. Makers feel very aware of this. That's why they chose the model of secular state. Indian secularism is different from the Western secularism. Western secularism, there is a clear-cut division between state and religion. But in Indian context, if it is required, the state interferes. India doesn't have an official religion. There is no special status to any religion as state religion. Just as like religions in Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and England, Sri Lanka has got Buddhism, as official religion. Pakistan has got Islam as official religion. England has got Christianity as official religion. Indian constitution offers religious freedom, freedom to profess, practice, and propagate any religion. Indian government interferes in matters of religion for prohibiting discrimination. For example, Article 17 of Indian Constitution is an example. Abolition of untouchability. State intervenes for ensuring equality. Secularism is the foundation of our country. Communalism threatens the very idea of India needs to be combated. The Constitution prevents prejudices and propaganda. It offers provisions to counter this. Religious mobilization to be countered. That is very dangerous. That leads to communal clashes and the very existence of the country. Thank you.